Howdy folks, it's the end of 2024. I have a handful of packages here from Japan's Mandarake and Suruga-ya anime stores to open. Now, of course, as with past orders, I know what's in these boxes. However, I don't necessarily remember what's in each particular order. And I will admit, I don't know if any of these orders or any of this stuff will be tremendously impressive or interesting to any of you. However, if you're viewing this, hopefully this will at least keep you mildly entertained for a few minutes. I think I know what's in this top one, and I have to admit that what I'm going to say here is going to sound a little pretentious, but it's also honest truth. I am aware that I don't have the biggest collection of anime merchandise in the world, especially not even in America, I'm sure. I'm sure there are people with bigger collections than me. However, my collection is big enough that periodically I forget that I own certain things. So a couple of days ago, I noticed that Suruga had gotten in stock this vintage dirty pair doujinshi. I immediately decided I was going to buy it. Now, thankfully, because Suruga right now does almost free express shipping, this book ended up being very inexpensive. This all ages doujinshi from I think this is from 1987. Dirty Adventure. This was, I think, something like $18.35 shipped. That's DHL Express shipped. So I ordered this, and then the next morning when I was looking through my Dirty Pair doujinshi collection, I found a copy of this because I'd forgotten I already owned it. However, considering that this second copy only cost me $18 shipped, I don't really mind having a second copy of it. So, let's move on to the next order and see what's in here. I will explain both what this stuff is and why I made these particular orders as we come across the items themselves. And this is upside down. Okay. I'm also realizing that probably would have been a little bit useful had I prepared a pair of scissors in addition, but regardless. I did pick up one of the newer released Sonico by Cutie Bunnies figures. I actually have one of the by Cutie Sonico bunny figures already. I bought this one because this one was actually, I think it was like $11. It was, because normally these are like $35, $40 here in America. This one was super cheap at 11 bucks. I figured that if I don't keep it myself, I'll put it up on a local convention dealer's table at some point, you know, for, I don't know, $25, $30, something like that perhaps. But, yeah, the fact that it was just so cheap, you know, convinced me to buy it. I picked up, I don't think I own a Ponyo Shikajiki. So when I saw that this one was available, I picked this one up. This is, why did I I guess this was probably the reason why I made the order. I noticed that this had come in stock at Suruga. This particular issue of Shonen Jump from This issue of Shonen Jump from 1993 is the first appearance of Ninku. Now, longtime anime fans will probably recognize the character and know what Ninku is. Ninku had a 70-something episode, I believe it was 70-some episode long television series and one short 30-minute long motion picture. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of Ninku, but I do dig it. I do like it. But the point is that this first appearance magazine was really cheap. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I think it was, I want to say it was probably something like under 10. It was like $10, or maybe it was 12 bucks or something like that. But I thought to myself it was cheap enough that I'm willing to make an order, especially since Suruga is right now doing practically free express shipping. I'm not advertising for them, I'm just stating the fact. While I was doing that, I ordered, for the first time, I ordered the 10-pack of random men's anime doujinshi. Now, I believe this is a 10-pack of anime doujinshi for $10. So it's $1 a book. The reason why I ordered this is because I think these are possibly... See, no, actually, I don't know. You see, I thought that possibly these would be Genga-style collections. I thought possibly that these would be like collections of doujinshi production art. But I'm not sure. This one is... Alright. I don't think that's it. This one is Licorice Recoil. So it looks like these are just simply doujinshi based on random anime series. This one... Oh, okay. Tsubochi the Rock doujinshi. I forgot what she looked like. Alright, this one I clearly... Okay. See, Yuri Camp doujinshi, clearly with some sort of Avengers crossover going on. This one, yeah. Some variety of Love Live, I'm presuming. Another Love Live doujinshi. This is a Girls in Panzer book referencing Model Graphics magazine. That's kind of nice, neat. I kind of dig the design on that. Let's see. Coco Achanto. Alright, off the top of my head, I don't recognize what anime this book is based on. This looks like a Fate, yeah. Fate Grand Order series, doujin. And another from the same series. And this, am I right? Is this a Toho? No, this is not a Toho book. I think, actually, is this an Azure Lane book? I'm pretty sure that this is an Azure Lane book. Alright, so once again, I was half expecting and half hoping that these would be like Genga type collections for $1 each. It turns out they're not. They're just doujinshi based on random anime series at $1 each. Alright, it was an experiment. Now I know what this set of books is. And then I purchased, this is a, was this a, Kako no Inazuki t-shirt. This was described as a free size, like no cost, like free size shirt. In other words, it's supposedly like a one size fits all t-shirt. I typically assume the Japanese t-shirts are going to be too small for like even me. I'm not that big, but this is a big full design, and this thing was like $4. It was like $4 or $5. It was super cheap. So I figured that, like, what the hell? Maybe it will be a size I can actually wear, even if it's not. It was so cheap, I'm willing to just take a chance on it anyway. But it definitely does look like a sizable shirt. So let's move on to the Mandarake orders. I made this order because, for one thing, a Dirty Pair wall poster that I did not have came in stock. Now, while I was in the process of making this order, I realized that I don't remember if this was Umeda or Kyoto, but the particular Mandarake warehouse had actually gotten in 3 vintage Dirty Pair wall posters. 2 of those wall posters are promotional, like retail store posters that I had never even seen before. And they were dirt cheap. They were like $5 a piece. So I'm disappointed that somebody bought those instantly. Like as soon as they went up, they just instantly sold out. So unfortunately I missed those. But whoever it was probably that bought those did not buy the more expensive one. The more expensive one is a more commonplace image, which may be why the collector did not buy that one. But I did end up buying that one because it was available. Now, let me get this stuff out of here. And, alright. This is the Dirty Pair wall poster. This is the image. It's a vertical image of the 2 girls wearing slacks in the street. It's not the image with Yuri in a dress. It's the image when they're both wearing pants. I'm aware that if I was a little bit more adept at video editing, I would probably just insert the image. But since I'm so low-tech, I'm just going to leave it to your imagination. If you're a hardcore Dirty Pair fan, you probably know which image I'm talking about. But this poster was 3,500 yen, so it was around $30. For a vintage Dirty Pair wall poster, I'm clearly willing to pay that for one that I don't already own, and I did not already own this one. But on this particular order, as I can see, I did buy a little bit of adult material. Now, I'm going to show this stuff off considerately, considering that this is YouTube. But I will try to give you, dear viewers, a sense of what stuff I picked up. This particular Dirty Pair doujinshi is one I already have. I do have, there's a K version, and I believe there's a Yuri version. I do have both of them. However, this was only like $3 US. So because it was so cheap, I decided I'm buying stuff anyway. I'm just going to buy this as a duplicate copy. This, I think I may already have one copy of this. I do not remember. But you can see from the title, Transformers Crossover Fleet Girl Alliance. This is a Azure Lane. No, this is a Kantai collection. Kantai collection / Transformers crossover doujinshi. This was under $1. It was so cheap that I figured I would pick it up because I might be able to sell it for $5 or $10 to a Transformers collector at some local convention at some point or other. But it was just so cheap that I threw it in the order regardless. Okay, this top one is actually, both of these Dirty Pair Doujinshi are ones I already own. But, once again, I was making an order and buying adult stuff anyway. So, these are relatively cheap. They were about $5 a piece. I figured that for that price, I'm willing to buy duplicate copies. I guess I probably should have... Okay. This book is one of the reasons why I placed the order. Getting the poster is one of the primary reasons I placed the order. However, this particular Dirty Pair Doujinshi by artist Maro is one that I did not have in my collection. So I'm glad to add this one to my collection. The top one here is a Doki Doki Pretty Cure Doujinshi by Gambler's Club. I don't like all of the Gambler Club Doujinshi, but I can admit that all of them have spectacular, gorgeous artwork. This particular one was 100 yen, so it was like 75 cents. It was just so cheap that I just couldn't pass it up at that price. Let me see if I can get a piece of paper to do my convenient censoring here. This particular doujinshi, I'm censoring the boobies, is one that I was almost completely unfamiliar with. I just happened to see the cover, and the cover appealed to me. It looked like it was an attractive book. I did happen to look on X Hentai and noticed that there is not a scan of this up there, so that made me more interested in this book. This one was a little bit more expensive. This was 800 yen, so that's what, like between $5 and $6. I figured that, you know, for the hell of it, I'll indulge my curiosity and pick this up. Let's see, I think that cover is okay to... Really, was there only one? I thought that there were two. I guess not. I have been collecting Saigato Circle Doujinshi probably since the very, very early 2000s. There are a number of the more recent releases that I don't have. This is one of the more relatively recent releases. So this one was 1,500 yen. It's a little bit higher than the typical 1,000 yen you'd expect for a new Saigato book. But, you know, considering I'm not over in Japan to buy it in person, I'm perfectly willing to pay 1,500 yen. It's about $12, $13. I thought there were two Saigato books for my collection that I had purchased, but I guess maybe one of them had sold out, so maybe it was just this one. This particular book, you may not be able to tell from the cover illustration, but this is actually a Fujiko Mine Ero Doujinshi, Hentai Doujinshi. I'm going to censor part of the back cover. It's a little bit more obvious for the back cover that this is a Fujiko Doujinshi. This one particularly just jumped out at me. This was 400 yen, so it was really cheap. So I picked that up. This is one of the two primary reasons I made the order. One was for the Dirty Pair poster. This is the other. Suruga got in issues 1, 2, and 3 of Comic Burger, and so I ordered all 3 of them. And then when the order arrived, I discovered the issue 1 had sold out, so I only received issues 2 and 3. Well, that frustrated me. And then I got a notification that Mandarake had gotten in stock a copy of issue 1. So I wanted to make sure I picked up issue 1. Now, as you can see from the cover, this is the first appearance of Buichi Terasawa's Midnight Eye Goku. This is also the first appearance of, I believe it's Kaoru Shintangi. This is also the first appearance of Cleopatra DC. This was 1,500 yen. It's a little bit more expensive than it was through Suruga-ya. However, this copy looks like it's in slightly better condition also. And then I also picked up for 400 yen. I believe this is my second copy. Yeah, I believe this is my second copy of this issue of Shonen Jump. This issue of Shonen Jump is the first appearance of Boku no Roboko, which is why I bought the first copy I had. But I realized more recently that this issue is also the first unmasked appearance of Yamato in One Piece. Those of you that have watched the One Piece Wano storyline will be familiar with the character Yamato. She originally appears wearing a fox mask. The chapter in which she takes off the mask for the first time is the chapter inside here. So this was only about $3. So for what you might say 2 first appearances, I decided that was worth picking up a second copy for. Oh, there's more stuff in here. Actually, maybe that other doujinshi I was thinking of is in here, perhaps. I don't know, what else was in this order? Let's see, what was in here? Is this what I was... Alright, these were all pencil boards. Alright. Now, you may not be able to tell, but I do have a cameraman, and my cameraman happens to be a big fan of Samurai Troopers. So I realized that 4 out of the 5 Samurai Troopers Shikijiki were available. So I picked up these 4. And as you'll see, the 5th one was available from a different Mandarake warehouse. So I placed a second order in order to get the 5th one. So this was a little bit of a Christmas gift for my cameraman who treats me very well. This Shikijiki, which I'm censoring, was about $3. Again, I was ordering adult stuff anyway. I figured, what the hell, I'll throw it in. It's nice looking. I think I could get away with showing this one completely. There's no, strictly speaking, there's no nudity on it. This pencil board was only like $2, maybe a little bit over $2. It's a nice looking image. I collect pencil boards. And this is a movie program. I own this literal image exactly as it appears here as a wall poster. I did not realize that it's also available as a movie program. Or I don't think I realized. Now, part of me has a suspicion I might actually already have this somewhere here on one of these shelves, but I don't remember. And so rather than bothering to dig through everything, I just decided I'll just buy it. And if it's a duplicate, then so be it. But this is the Nippon Sunrise Anime Festival movie program. It's for the screenings of the Vifam, Votoms, and Dirty Pair Affair of Yolandia movies. Now, technically, they're OVAs, but they did get a limited theatrical screening, which is why they got a movie program. So, let's move on to next order. Alright, there is one particular item that I placed this order to get. If I can get... The stuff is taped or glued to the bottom of the box, so I gotta yank it out. Alright. Okay, by way of explanation, back in 1997, many of you will be aware that there was a X-Men cartoon. Many of you will be aware that, I believe it was Sunrise. Was it Sunrise that animated the opening? Or was it TV? Was it TMS? I don't remember now. Actually, it's been so long since I thought of this. A Japanese studio animated a custom opening credits sequence for the American X-Men cartoon when it was released in Japan. But more importantly, more relevantly, Japan produced a manga based on the American X-Men cartoon. Now, I may be mistaken here, and I want to point that out. I may be mistaken here. I believe this particular manga series based on the American X-Men cartoon was not magazine serialized. I believe this was released directly to Tankobon. And I believe it was only 2 volumes. This is volume 1. As far as I'm aware, this has never been reprinted in Japan. As far as I'm aware, it has never been published in English. Never been released in America. I've been keeping an eye out for this book and the second book literally for years. This is the only copy I have ever seen available for sale. Now, I haven't looked everywhere, but in the places I've looked, I've never seen a copy available for sale until this one came up. And so when it came up, within hours of me getting the notification that it was available, I placed this order because I wanted to make sure I got a copy of this because it's that rare. Now, I'm not personally a huge X-Men collector, but considering the uniqueness of this book, I wanted to make sure I grabbed it. This, many of you manga fans will know, is not the first appearance of Ruri Dragon. I will repeat, this is not the first appearance of Ruri Dragon. The first appearance actually came in a one-shot manga published about a year before this. This issue of Shonen Jump is the first ongoing chapter. This is the beginning of the Ruri Dragon serialization. Now, I have 2 copies of the Shonen Jump Giga, which includes the one-shot first appearance, but I did not have a copy of this. I do expect Ruri Dragon will probably get an anime in the next year or 2. I might be wrong, but I just have this feeling that it's probably going to get an anime. So I decided, since I already have the first appearance, while this was available relatively cheap, I'll pick this up as well. Now I have to admit, no, I'm pretty certain that this issue of Shonen Jump is the one before this. I'm pretty certain that this is the one immediately before this one. I'm pretty certain this is the one. This issue includes the first appearance of Yamato wearing the fox mask. This is the first issue when she takes the mask off. Now, among hardcore fans, there is a rumor that Yamato makes a first appearance earlier. However, that appearance is so tiny and so debatable that personally, I don't even really count that as a true appearance. I'm not even convinced it is Yamato. To me, these 2 issues are the true first appearance of Yamato in One Piece. I picked up this magazine just because it was really cheap. This was only 300 yen. This magazine, this issue of Big Comic Spirit. Yeah, Big Comic Spirits. This is the first appearance of the 365 Days Until the Wedding manga series. That particular anime just ended like a week. This week? Did it end a week ago? It was one of this season's anime series. It was about two co-workers that create a fiction that they're going to get married so that they don't get shipped overseas for work. I don't know that the manga or the anime are that terribly popular, but this magazine was really cheap, so I figured why not grab it while I can. This is, let's see, this one, yes. This particular, this is Manga Shonen Monthly. This issue is from, let's see, does it even give me a year? I don't remember what year this is from. Apologies, I don't remember what year this is from. This is from the early 80s. However, the point is, if you notice down here in the corner in the tiny little print, and here in the table of contents, this issue of Manga Shonen Monthly is the first manga appearance of Crusher Joe. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the first appearance of this. Now, I'm not sure how many of you remember Crusher Joe. I'm not sure how many of you are aware that Crusher Joe has a manga. I'm not sure how many of you have ever seen the American publication of the Crusher Joe manga, because I'm pretty sure that this book is also extremely rare. But considering that Crusher Joe occurs in the same universe as Dirty Pair, it was created by Haruki Takachio before Dirty Pair. This was really cheap. This was only 300 yen. So at that price, I figured that I will add this to my tangential Dirty Pair collection. Likewise, I also picked up this issue. This particular issue also was only 300 yen. This particular issue is the first appearance of what was her name? This is the first appearance of Toward the Terra. It's the first appearance of Terra E. Takeshimiya? Is it Keiko? Keiko Takashimiya? I apologize, I should know this. I can't remember. The creator's name is temporarily slipped my mind. You know, I've never been a huge fan of Toward the Terra, but it is one of the seminal classics of sci-fi space opera, manga, and anime. So to be able to get the first appearance for $2 and some change, I figured that, yeah, this is worth keeping in my personal collection. I have one copy of this. This is the first issue of Dragon HG magazine. This contains the preview, first appearance of the Dirty Pair Peacemaker manga series. This was only, again, like $2 and change. So because it's fairly obscure, because I'm a Dirty Pair collector, I decided I wanted a second copy because it was so cheap. Oh, I guess I think I didn't even consciously realize, or I think I'd forgotten, that I must have apparently bought 2 copies. Because again, this was, well, alright, this copy was 600 yen. So again, about $5. First appearance of Boku no Roboco, first appearance of Yamato Unmasked for about $5. Okay, yeah, I'll buy duplicates of that. And Shikijiki, let's see. This is a Time Stranger étranger. No, étranger is the name of the Go Shogun movie, isn't it? I apologize. But years and years and years ago, I did watch this movie. I vaguely remember it being kind of boring. But this was a pretty big feature film back in the early 80s. And I did not have a Shikijiki for it. It was only 3 hours, or under 3 hours. So I picked that up. I also picked up this Gundam Last Order Shikijiki. This came with, I don't remember if this was Gangan or Business Jump, but I believe this came with the first chapter of Last Order. I think I already have one. I know for certain I have one of these Shikijiki already with the magazine. I think I might have 2 copies of the magazine with the Shikijiki, but I picked up another copy of the Shikijiki, possibly to resell, just because it was really, really cheap. And we're down to the last box. So, in this order was, or I should say is, in this order is, can I get this open conveniently? Alright. Apologies for the dead air, but again, I'm not a professional video tuber or VTuber, whatever. I picked up this issue of Shonen Jump because it was available. I was making the order anyway. This is the first appearance of Yozakura Mission family, or Mission Yozakura family. I believe I already have 1 or more copies of this. I don't remember. But this was a, 27 episode anime television series. It just ended the season before the current season. This particular copy was only $2 and change, so that's why I bought another copy. What was in here? What was in here? I bought this particular. Oh, I'm pretty. Actually, is this the first? Was this the first ongoing? Was this the first ongoing Sakamoto Days, or was there something else? To be honest, that's the problem with doing this live without doing my research. I forgot why I bought this. I know for certain this is not the first appearance of Sakamoto Days. I don't think this is the first of the ongoing serialization. I think there was something else in this magazine that made me buy this one, but I don't remember what it was, so my apologies. But whatever it was, this particular magazine was only 300 yen. There is the... Actually, there's a couple Shiki in here. There is the 5th of the 5 Euroiding Samurai Troopers, Shiki. And then there's also a fruits basket, because I don't think I have a fruits basket. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a fruits basket Shiki in my collection. So, pick that up. This is the Hirine Hime Mook, this napping princess movie. I remember being a little underwhelmed, a little unimpressed by this movie, but I did not have an anime book from it. This book was only about $3 US, so at that price I figured, you know, why not? What the hell? And then I guess I ended up buying another copy of the first serialization of Ruri Dragon. This one, in this condition, this one was 800 yen. So that's what, like $6, maybe $6 and change, something like that at current exchange rate. But the main reason I placed this order was to get the last of the series as a Christmas gift. So that's what I have purchased lately. If you're still watching this, I hope you found this video at least a little bit entertaining. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send them my way. I guess that's about it. So, thanks for watching if you're still watching. Bye for now.